President Trump in Valdosta, Georgia over the weekend, where he talked for 2 hours urging support for Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue for the Senate. Our John Fawcett was there too. And here are a few thoughts of Trump supporters.
Do you believe this was a free and fair election?
No, I think a blind man could see this was not a free election. It was not an honest election. I'm 72 years old. I never thought I'd live to see this kind of corruption.
That video we saw that happened in Atlanta, you can't tell me that was just them doing their job. Those were big, fat, humongous suitcases stuffed with probably copied ballots that they did, the Democrats or the liberals, and they told the people to leave at 11 o'clock. For 2 hours, they had time to count all those ballots without anybody watching them. And if you see the graphs at between 11 and 1 o'clock, there you saw that blue little spike from Biden.
It's the most rigged election ever, and politicians getting bought off. It's a very transparent election because we can see who not to vote for and who needs to get it.
Was this a free and fair election?
No! It's the largest coup that ever has happened in the history of mankind. The greatest country in the world, the United States, has been invaded by social media giants, tech giants, China and Russia, all trying to seize our country and makes it into a Marxist socialist country.
Well, what do you say to the rhinos who are calling for President Trump to give up the fight?
Traitors. Sorry. Traitors. Very traitors. Stick to your party. Support the head of your party, which is President Trump. And stand up for your constituents and the people that elected you.
That's them. Has China bought them? Are they owned by China just like Joe Biden's owned by China? I mean, it seems to make sense to me. All the money, man.
They're all worried about their own personal thing of agenda. But you know what? They're going to be the first ones out if this goes either way. They're going to be gone.
Mike Lindell there, you probably recognized him. Joining us tonight is Stephen Miller. He is a presidential advisor to the Trump campaign, top aide to the president. Stephen, it's good to have you with us. Appreciate it. Let's start with what you saw there in Valdosta. Thousands, tens of thousands of people. And across the country, the same thing. And we're supposed to believe that this president is an unpopular president and just got beat despite all sorts of evidence to the contrary, suggesting that this was the most fraudulent election in presidential history. Are you and your colleagues in the White House and this administration going to be able to prove that in the Supreme Court?
The answer is yes. And you're right, Lou. No president in history running for re-election received more votes than this president. And unlike his opponent, these were real votes from Americans who are lawfully eligible to vote in this country, most of whom showed up in person to cast a ballot. I want to break something down for your viewers, Lou. This year, more people voted by mail than ever before in American history. This was done by Democrat election officials using the virus as a pretext to allow people to vote by mail to tens of millions more than ever happened before. And yet, despite voting by mail to a degree never ever before in American history, the rejection rate on ballots was the lowest level we have ever seen. In Georgia, as one example, the rejection rate in 2016 was 5.5%. Sorry, 6.5% in 2016. 6.5. This year, it was 0.5% or less. That variance alone gives Donald Trump the state of Georgia. In the state of Wisconsin, where Democrat county officials violated unconstitutionally their own state laws to allow absentee voting from people who had never filled out an absentee application, that alone gives Donald Trump the margin of victory. In the state of Arizona, you remove non-Arizona residents and non-citizens, he has the margin of victory in Arizona. Those three states, those three corrections, that alone gives Donald Trump 4 more years in the White House.
The president in Valdosta